party people. It's Randee for Thunderhorse Descendant. I am here and I am on JJB Beads today. I have a project to share. I'm really excited about it. I just wanted to introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. My name is Randee Brown. I am a Minnesota artist. I started Thunderhorse Descendant. I'm the sole proprietor, artist, marketer, everything. I'm the everything for Thunderhorse Descendant, which is my company that I started in February of 2018. Is that right? Yeah, 2018. I started beading years ago. I grew up on the reservation in North Dakota. I'm originally part of the 3 affiliated tribes, and I grew up out there, and I started beading with my mom, my grandma, you know, everybody, my cousins. I started beading with them. We would make outfits for my brother, you know, do seed beading, things like that. And then it grew into other things, and throughout the years, I was always beading, doing artsy things. My grandma's very artsy, and, yeah, so I then went to college, and I was a drug addiction counselor in Minneapolis for a number of years. I graduated from Hazleton Betty Ford, and I worked in Minnesota for a long time, working mostly with opiate addicts and stuff like that. In the interim, what I did is I utilized my art to kind of therapy myself. So it was a way to give something back. It was to be a wonderful situation, like giving something beautiful to the world, since I always had a lot of negativity going on around me, and it just became an amazing passion of mine. And I'm not gonna lie, I went and opened an Etsy store in 2015 as like a hobby, and by 2018 I was able to go was it full-time? Yeah, it was full-time. 2017, I went like part-time at my job. 2018, I went full-time with jewelry making and beading, and I have loved it ever since. And so this is what I do. And it's really fun. I get to meet lots of cool people, go on lots of cool journeys with, you know, just like with everybody in my community and here at the JJB community. And it's just it's been a wonderful experience. I recently discovered JJB online in, I want to say 2019. I was working just, you know, in my studio, just my own little tunnel vision, and I ended up in a situation where I was like, oh, I need to get more creative people around me. And so I joined, started joining the groups, and that's how I got introduced to JJB Beads. So now here I am, and I'm going to show you guys a little project. Okay guys, here's an example of what we're going to be making today. We're going to be making a little different color scheme, but for the most part, this is what we're going to be making. These I grabbed up out of the Dolly box. But yeah. So there's a little example, got a little chain reaction on there. So let's get started. Okie dokie, here we go. So these are the items that we're going to be using for this tutorial today. What I have is the Czech Fire Polish 8mm matte white. I have, this is the Toho. We discussed this in one of my YouTubes. This is the Toho trio. And I'm not sure, honestly, if I'm going to be using the orange or the red. But I got them all out just in case, you know. I like to get crazy sometimes. I'm going to be using Wildfire. This one is gray. I don't know if JJB has any more gray on the website, but I know they have black because I saw it this morning. A little chain reaction. This one came out of last month's, what number is this? This is number 13. This one came out of the Dolly box, or it can also be found in the pack of 5. When you get the 5 gold or the 5 silver, it comes in that one too. Well, I got it in that one. I shouldn't say that. These are the Jolene beads from the Dolly box, and we're going to jump in there and we're going to pull out some of those to use in this project. And those are all of the items that we will be using. I will be using a needle. This is a 12. I believe this is a 12, number 12 needle. Maybe it's number 10 or 12. I think it's 12. And I'm going to put that on my wildfire. All right. So, here's what we're going to start out with. We are going to use the Czech fire polish. I'm just going to dump those there for now. These are the 8mm matte white. And I'm going to be using the Toho firecrackers. So I did choose the more reddish orange. I think that that's going to be a good situation. Here we have the wildfire. This is the 0.15. So the first thing we're going to make is using these Czech fire polish. I'm just going to get some thread out here for myself. And I got about, a foot. I don't know that I will need that much, but I think it's always better to have more than not enough. So first things first, I'm going to squish the end of this so that I can get my needle threaded. All right. Okay. These are just some 8mm. Are these 8s or 6s? No, I think these are 6s. These are 6mm seed beads. We're just going to need a few of those. And I just found like this kind of pearlescent color to match this kind of milk glass situation we have going on. So here we go. I have my needle threaded. We're just going to be using the 1 strand. You don't have to tie a knot or anything. We're going to do that after we string up these beads. So we're going to go 6, and then 1 of the Czech Glass, 6, and then 1 of the Czech Glass, 6, and 1 of the Czech Glass. So it's 3. We got to have 4 on there. So 6 and 1 of the Czech Glass. Okay. So now that we have this, so move this out of the way for now. And this is what we have. Okay. So now what we're going to do is real simple. We're just going to bring it down to the end of our string, leaving ourselves about 4 inches or so, maybe 3 inches, depending on how good your knot tying is. And we are going to tie just a regular knot in the end here. So we're just going to tie like that. And here we're going to go 1, 2. Maybe we are. Maybe. There we go. Oh. Okay. 1 and 2. All right. And this is what we got. So we got like a little square. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our needle end. And let's see, which way is this? So now we're going to go through this first little 6mm bead here just to pull it through. And if you have a thread zapper, great. If you don't, you can just use your little snipper. And we're just going to go in here and we're going to take that tail off. All right, now we can actually get started. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our seed beads. Okay, let me zoom you out just a smidge. We're going to take our seed beads, and I'm actually just going to dump these because it's a little easier to work with them that way. And I'm going to put on 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So once you have your 10 on, you can bring those down. And this is what you should have. You should be coming out of this 6mm bead. And all we're going to do is we're going to go across to the next 6mm bead, and we're going to go in through there. Easy peasy. And that is what she will look like. And we'll go again. So 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, bring those 10 down. And we're going to go again into the next 6mm seed bead. So you should start to see a flower shape arising here. That's kind of the goal. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And these are the size 11 Toho beads. Now you could use any seed beads. These are 11s. If you use a little bigger seed bead, you're gonna wanna adjust the sizing here for how many you're putting on. 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have not done this with 15s yet. I would like to, but I haven't. Okay, back through that 6mm bead. Okay, so now you're all the way back to the beginning. You should have something that looks like this. Okay, and we're coming out of this guy right here, this 6mm bead. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go underneath here. I'm going to get the thread. I'm going to get the thread underneath there, and I'm going to do a half hitch knot. So all that means is you go underneath, you get this little loop, and you go through the loop, and you're going to pull it tight. The only thing to watch for is to make sure that it's falling into place where you want it to go. But now what we're going to do to secure it is we are going to go back through these seed beads. Just these ones here. So let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're going to want to come out on the 6th one. And we're going to put a little loop on here. So we're going to take 4 more beads. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And to put this loop on, we're just going to go through these 2 again. Okay. So we came out of here. You're going to want to make a loop around. Okay. And then to secure that, because this is where we're going to hook our wire to, I'm just going to go through it again just so it's got a little more security. Now, some people make their loops with only 3 beads. Sometimes they only go through 1 or 2 beads here on the stitching area. And that's fine, however you want to do it. I do it like this. Just pulling that through. Okay, now we got to get back over to this side. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to get in here if I can. There we go. And start going around. Just going back through those beads until we get to the opposite side. You just want to make sure you're not getting tangled up here. And I'm just going around. Okay. Okay. So now you can see we're coming up on the exact opposite side here. So again, I'm going to want to go 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5. And then 6. Okay, we're going to put on our other side of our loop. So we're going to go 4, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to come in here and we're going to go, again, we're coming out right here. So we're going to want to enter in the one behind that one. Okay. And we're going to go around to make a little loop. Now we're going to secure that loop by just going back around inside of there. And this just helps it to be a little more sturdy. You are going to be connecting things. This is going to be your connection point. So you're going to want to make sure that's got a little extra, you know. All right. So now this is what we have. Connection point on both sides. Okay. I'm going to do another 1/2 inch knot right here. And make sure that it's coming in right there at the end. And I'm going to go through these 4 beads here. And I'm going to tie in, I'm going to go under the string. I'm going to tie one more 1/2 inch knot. Make sure that that's coming in where I want it to go, which is right here next to that 6. Sometimes it can be a little funny. So if it does get like this, you can always just give it, you know, get it maneuvered the way you need to. Okay. And then I'm going to go through the 6. This is where I'm going to end this. So with those 1/2 inch knots in there, you should be fine. I'm going to go ahead and give it a snip. And if you do have a thread zapper, you can go ahead and give it a little zap. Just make sure you're not burning up anything that you need there. Okay. And so there you go. There's the first one. Okay. We are going to make 3 of these. For the purpose of this, I have those ready to go. Okay. Okay guys, so there is what all 3 of them look like together. So you could, excuse me, you could take and just, you know, wire wrap or put a jump ring, add your chain, call it a day. But you know, Randee likes to be a little extra. So I've got me some 22 gauge wire in gold, and I'm just going to take a little smidge, about 4 inches. You don't need 4 inches, I know for a fact. But in between mine here, I have pulled, these are the red Jolene mix from the past mystery box. And I just want to wire wrap those in because I am going to use this gold and red chain. So we kind of got like a gold, orange, red situation going on. Warm tones, warm tones. So what I'm going to do is I want to try to use these roses. I don't know if you guys saw these. They're so great. And I saw them and I thought, oh, I got to try to get those in there. I don't know how, but we're going to try it. Okay, so I am looking for my round nose plier. So I'm going to just wire wrap these up. And let's see. I don't want too big of a loop, so yeah, no. Just going to make a wire loop here. I always give it a little push with my nail so that it kind of knows where it's supposed to be indented at. But before we go just straight into wire wrapping this, what I want to do is I want to take this off my plier and I want to hook it on to that little loop we made on here on this beading. So the only thing about this is that when you go to add these on, you got to be real careful you don't clip up one of your beads, your seed beads, with your plier. Okay, so I'm going to wrap that around. I'm going to go about 2, maybe 3 times, and I'm going to give this a snip. And I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to make sure that's tucked in. And there we go. Now I can go ahead and put on the rose. So now I'm thinking, do I want to put just the rose or do I want to put a little something extra? But I think just the rose is going to be enough. Hopefully it hangs correctly. I kind of want it to hang correctly. So just looking at that there. You know what? I wonder if I can get this through there a second time. I sure can. I'm going to pull it tight and then I'm going to give it a, wish I had my flat notes, but I'm going to give it a I'm going to just pinch it like that in hopes that that's going to help it to lay straight. We shall see. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to wrap some more. I'm going to get real close up there. But now again, before we start, just close things up. We got to connect our next loop here. Now, if you wanted to, you could very well just do these up and then connect them with jump rings. That would not be an issue. I just felt like this would be okay. And I'm wrapping. And I'm going to wrap 3 times real close to that rose. So I want that to be moving around. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to snip. And snip. And squish it. Make sure it's good. Trying to look through my camera. There we go. Hey. Let's see. Try. This is bent. Kind of got a range there, but that's fine. On to the next. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Okay, so I'm going to get a little more wire. Again, using about 4 inches. And I'm going to start the next one. Oh. Okay, I did a little dent with my finger. And I leave that kind of open so I can connect to the next one. Bring in my chain nose. And wrap. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, and snip. I always feel like a workout video. And snip, and go, and push, and tighten, you know? All right. So now I want to make sure that both my roses are going to be the same way. So I'm going to want to put it on this side. And I'm going to go back around with this. So I did leave, when I bent that down, I left like a finger length worth of straight wire here, so that I can still kind of slide it around, get that bad boy back in there a second time. And I gotta grab that up with my plier there. Alright, so I'm kind of slowly pulling that loop around on the back. Once it's gotten to like this point, then I'm going to put it where I want. I'm going to make sure it's in there where I want. Then I'm going to give it a nice tug and a push with my thumb to make sure that's kind of tight. I'm going to then give it a twist here. Now, you want to be careful not to cut your wire or anything when you're doing that, but it's just to tighten up that slack. If you got a lot of slack, you might have to pull a little harder. Okay, and then we'll go again with the wire wrapping. And before we close this up, we have to add the third link. So I'm kind of just maneuvering these little things in the middle. So we got 4 beads on here. So I'm kind of putting it in the middle there. And then going like so. Grab that. Be careful not to get a hold of your seed beads and crack them because they're glass. Get up close to that rose. So that wire wrap was not the best of times, but you know. Give it a snip and make sure it's wired in. Hey. So this is what we got so far. I'm loving the warm tones. I was a little concerned that orange might be a little much, but I think after we get the chain on there, it's going to be fine. So now we're not done with our wire wrapping. What I did is I'm going to go ahead and grab up. This is the chain we're going to be using. So, don't know if you guys can see on here. It's like a dark red, kind of a dark red. This also came in the 5-pack of Chain Reaction. I'm gonna pick out 2 more of these little crystals, I think. I'm just thinking, do I want to go red or do I want to go with this goldy bronze? Oh. Decisions. Do I want to go like that? You guys, I don't know what I want. Nobody's surprised, Randee. Okay, so I do really like these. These were also in the Jolene box. I thought they were drops, but they're not, and I really like them. So honestly, I think I'm going to go with that. I am going to put a little gold. I want to put a little gold on there, but I think we're going to go this way. The 2 little drops. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do some simple wire wrapping on these, the same as we have been doing. Give myself a little 3 inches there, because 4 is just a little bit much. Okay, I'm just going to wire wrap these on. Ooh, was that enough? I don't know. I don't know if it was enough. So I'm just hooking on here again to our link. Careful of those glass seed beads, and whoa, careful for your fingers. Wrap that around. That didn't go around as many times as I would like, so I'm going to just squish it in instead of trimming it. Does anybody else be like, I gotta trim it because it's part of my, it's like part of my ritual, or is that just me? Alright. So now, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, do I need that gold spacer on there? Do I? Let me just look and see how it looks. Maybe it looks funny. I don't know. Oh, it actually looks kind of good. I'm going to do it. I'm going to put the gold spacer and this little red one. And we're wire wrapping. 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, get that little work hard in, get this straightened out. Okay, and then on the other side the same. Now I didn't hook anything into here because we're going to use chain reaction, and we can do that, you know. Chain reaction's like the best thing in life. It's just super easy. You can just use it on anything pretty much. So I don't worry about that. I'll give myself a little more this time. All right. You guys, we're almost done with this. And 1 and 2 and 3. That's too many. All right. Oh, get your little tail tucked in. Get everything looking straight there. And the gold. And this little thing. When I first saw these, I thought they were like a teardrop shape, and they're not. And now that I'm seeing that, I'm like, what? That'll teach me, right? To just like pay attention, Randee. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that'd be a little tighter. There we go. Okay, straighten this up. So, trying to tuck this little tail in. There we go. All right. Whew. Okay, now to the construction. I got my chain reaction here. I'm just going to take the split ring off. And I am going to attach this with some oval jump rings because I'm a big fan of oval jump rings. But what I want to do first is, this is going to be a shorter necklace. So what I want to do is I want to cut this little piece off so that I have the crystals here to connect. So if this bothers you, please just don't look. Don't look. Just don't look. It's fine. Everything's fine. There we go. So now what we can do is we can just get out our oval jump rings. You can also use your locking jump rings. You know, you could have just wire wrapped these together, then you wouldn't have to use a jump ring, but you just do however you want to do. It's fine. No rules. So I'm just going to connect it. Easy peasy. These are a little bigger than I'd like, but you know, it is what it is. But I love to hang stuff on an oval jump ring because an oval jump ring disperses the weight. And that means that the heavy part of your piece is never on the weakest part of the link because the link is not designed that way. You see? So the cut clearly is the weakest part. All right. So now what we got to do, almost done, is we just got to make sure we're not twisted up here. I don't think we are, but I'm just going to double check. So we want everything, by twisted up, I mean like, is one rose going one way and one's not? And if it is, we just want these to be laying correctly, which they are. So now I'm going to just kind of eyeball this. I'm going to go up here and I am going to cut right here at these two crystals, and this is where I'm going to put my connection. Easy peasy. You could use those two pieces for earrings if you'd like. Let me get a lobster claw. I have this like bigger lobster claw. I don't even know where that came from. I'm going to use it. And I'm going to use this, just looking like, do I have an extender chain? I do. I have these little extender chains that are like 2 inches long. I'm going to put that on there. Just putting my clasp on, easy peasy. And then I'll put on this little extender right onto this side of the crystal. And then I'm going to grab up one little jump ring, gold one. Does this one work? And I'm going to take one of these little flower tassels, because why not? And put it right on there. Now, you don't have to do that, but I think it's cute. And I'm going to zoom you guys out, and I'm going to move you out so you can get the full effect here. Kind of gotta go like that to get it all in the camera, I guess. There she is. All dressed up. I wish these were showing up on camera a little better than they are. The red is really popping out, and these actually match really well. But yeah, there we go. You could use any kind of seed beads that you want, any color for this little portion of it. It's a cute design. Here's another one. Just an example of another one that I made. This one I made from the dolly box. And I thought this one was really cute because I used those little crystals that came in there. And this one has the little flowers. I even used some of the pearls that came, the acrylic pearls that came in the dolly box with these. And I just used a different color seed bead. So I think it's really cool that you can get, you know, you could get like a more elegant effect if you want. You can get a little more funky effect with the different types of specialty beads. So there you go, guys. Okay, guys, well, thank you to Jessie James for having me. I hope you guys enjoyed this little project. It's kind of a fun one if you're looking for some different little things to do with your beads. Yeah. I just thought it was cute that you can add different specialty beads in the middle. And a good way to use your seed beads as well. So, and you can find me if you want to learn more about me, read about my story. I am on Etsy. The name of my shop is Thunderhorses. And I have a website. It's www.thunderhorse-descendant.com. A lot of people ask me why am I Thunderhorse Descendant? It's that my mom is Carol Thunderhorse. So there you go. The descendant of Thunderhorse. And thank you to Jessie James for having me as a guest. And I hope to see you guys again soon. Bye.